For years, we've heard wild tales about artificial intelligence. Some warn of a global takeover, a sentient digital overlord. Others dismiss it as merely glorified programming, a glorified spreadsheet. But what if the genuine story is far more fascinating and surprisingly simpler than any of those extremes? Today, we're peeling back the layers to reveal the truth behind the digital curtain. For many years, our collective imagination painted two drastically different visions of artificial intelligence. One portrays a nearly omniscient digital entity destined to surpass human intellect and reshape civilization as we know it. The other views it as nothing more than an advanced arithmetic machine, capable of complex sums, but devoid of true understanding. The fascinating reality is that both interpretations miss the mark entirely. When we clear away the exaggerated claims, the irrational fears, and the intimidating algorithms, AI isn't sentient, nor does it possess consciousness in the human sense. So, how does an intricate collection of digital instructions manage to pilot an autonomous vehicle, compose a captivating piece of music, or aid in diagnosing intricate medical conditions? It turns out the true mechanism isn't hidden in incredibly complex formulas. It's built upon a fundamental reasoning task that humanity successfully taught machines to automate. Today, we're going to peer inside that digital black box to uncover the core principles of how artificial intelligence truly operates. To grasp the essence of contemporary AI, we must first examine its precursors. Traditional rule-based programming. Imagine you wish to instruct a computer to identify a common household pet, like a dog. In earlier computing, you would meticulously code directives such as, if the creature possesses a wet nose, 4 legs, and a wagging tail, then it is undeniably a dog. This approach functions adequately until you present the system with a dachshund, whose legs are noticeably short, or perhaps a 3-legged dog. The program falters. The rigid instructions prove insufficient. It's practically impossible to anticipate and codify every single exception across the vast diversity of the animal kingdom. This is precisely where machine learning, the foundational element of contemporary AI, revolutionized the paradigm. Instead of furnishing the computer with explicit rules, we decided to supply it with the entire answer sheet. Envision artificial intelligence as a young child. You wouldn't provide a precise anatomical definition of a canine to a toddler. Instead, you'd simply point to countless pictures of dogs, uttering "dog," and then indicate numerous images of other creatures, stating "not a dog." Over time, the child's brain instinctively identifies recurring visual characteristics. It discerns, that particular snout shape and body posture typically signify a dog. Contemporary AI functions as a sophisticated system engineered to analyze millions upon millions of examples and independently discover its own intricate patterns. These patterns are often so nuanced and subtle that human observers would struggle immensely to articulate them explicitly. So, how does a computer perceive these hidden regularities? It employs a mechanism known as a neural network. Now, the terminology might sound intimidating, but don't be deterred. While it draws inspiration from the human brain, it's more accurately envisioned as a sequence of analytical layers, akin to a multi-stage water filtration system. Imagine you're tasked with identifying a handwritten digit. Let's use the number 7 as our example. The initial layer of the AI scrutinizes the individual pixels. It doesn't instantly recognize a 7. Instead, it asks basic questions. Is there a diagonal stroke here? Is there a horizontal segment at the top? This preliminary data is then forwarded to the subsequent layer. This layer aggregates those elementary shapes. It might conclude, a sharp angle formed by a horizontal and diagonal line typically indicates a top-left segment. Finally, the ultimate layer synthesizes all these interpretations. It determines a distinct horizontal segment combined with a pronounced diagonal stroke strongly suggests the numeral 7. This sequential processing through multiple analytical levels is what we refer to as deep learning. It's merely a structured arrangement of logical stages. The initial stages discern rudimentary visual elements, while the deeper stages interpret increasingly intricate concepts. It's not magic. It's an assembly line of information processing. But here lies the truly profound inquiry. How does the AI discern which specific analytical filters are effective? How does it know that a specific diagonal line, combined with a horizontal one, truly represents a 7 as opposed to, say, a number 1? It acquires this knowledge through a methodology remarkably akin to the classic childhood pursuit of hot or cold. When the AI system is first activated, its cognitive framework is essentially blank. It produces utterly random, useless output. If you present it with a visual of a table, it might erroneously identify it as a bird. Whenever the AI makes an incorrect inference, the system dispatches a corrective signal throughout its network. This serves as its cold notification. It instructs the AI, your prediction was erroneous. Fine-tune your internal configurations. In computational terms, these configurations are referred to as weights or parameters. Visualize an immense sound mixing console equipped with billions of adjustable knobs. Each time the AI commits an error, it slightly adjusts these knobs. It repeats this iterative process millions of times, continuously integrating feedback. Ultimately, all the knobs are perfectly calibrated, ensuring that when an image of a table is input, the accurate label table is output. The AI doesn't inherently comprehend the concept of a table. It has merely optimized its mathematical dials to react precisely to the visual data corresponding to a table. This elucidates how AI effectively identifies objects. But what about artificial intelligence that drafts compelling prose or generates captivating artwork? This realm falls under generative AI, exemplified by systems like ChatGPT. Here, the underlying principle diverges slightly. Instead of a binary true or false assessment, it engages in a sophisticated fill-in-the-blank exercise. Imagine you've diligently consumed every single volume housed within the entirety of the Library of Congress. If I were to prompt you with, Jack and Jill went up the, you would instantly know the subsequent word is hill. Why? Not because you performed a rapid calculation, but because you've encountered that specific phraseology countless times. The statistical likelihood of hill appearing next is overwhelmingly high. Generative AI is essentially an ultra-advanced predictive text system. It analyzes the preceding words, cross-references its vast repository of human linguistic patterns, and statistically determines the most contextually appropriate word to follow. It's not conveying a verified truth. It's not imparting wisdom. It is forecasting the most probable linguistic output a person would generate within that particular context. In essence, it functions as a digital looking glass, reflecting our collective language patterns back to us. When we contemplate artificial intelligence, it's often tempting to perceive it as an extraterrestrial intellect. However, the genuine situation is considerably more tangible. It is a sophisticated instrument constructed upon foundational logic, iterative refinement through trial and error, and an immense volume of human-generated information. It doesn't possess inherent sagacity. It possesses accumulated experience, diligently curated from our own vast human collective. It's the rudimentary element that achieved extraordinary complexity simply by being executed an astronomical number of times. If you found this glimpse behind the digital curtain enlightening, please make sure to hit that like button. It helps our system understand you're keen on more content of this nature. Thank you for watching.